Hello and welcome. I'm Jeff Fitzpatrick, editor of Forex Trader magazine, author of the How to Trade Forex course, and I also run the live trading blog in which we demonstrate what we're about. And in this short presentation, I want to tell you about my story and why you might be interested in following some of the path that I've been along. If you were writing your life story right now, how would it read? What would it look like? Well, I'm not talking about the whole of your life story, but let's have a look about building your income, about building your wealth, and about building your financial life. That's what's important as far as I'm concerned at this time. A lot of the inspiration for what I did came from a guy called Robert Kiyosaki and his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read that, I definitely recommend that you should do so. And having read that, I decided it was time to seek out a long-term solution to the long-term problem. And that's what actually introduced me to trading. But something else that came from Rich Dad, Poor Dad was this. And basically, it's almost a journey. And the journey starts for most of us, and for me, as being an employee. We then sometimes go on to become self-employed, and perhaps we even go on to become the owner of a business. And very few of us, but some of us, actually go on then to become an investor. And that's the journey that I've been along. I have been an employee. I was very successful as an employee. In fact, I was deputy chairman of manufacturing for GUS Burberry. I'm sure most people will have heard of Burberry. I have been self-employed. I was a self-employed consultant for quite a long time, and again, quite successful at it. But you just try being ill or needing time off and the income stops. I thought perhaps the solution to that was to become a business owner, and I did own a business, and that went quite well too. But it was dependent on government contracts, and they dried up in the recession. For me, that was actually a good thing, because it prompted me to go on to become an investor and to learn how to trade. Initially, it was stocks and options, and then it was Forex. So, I was an employee, but we can go directly from whether we're an employee or self-employed or business owner to become an investor. You don't actually have to go through those different stages. You can go directly to the end point. So what will you need? Well, it's quite simple. First of all, an internet connection. Secondly, you'll need around £800 or $800 of capital. Now don't worry, I'm not going to charge you anything like that. Most of that money is going to be exactly what it's called there, capital. Money for you to invest that remains your money for you to grow. Next, you'll need about 10 hours of learning time. And that's being generous. It shouldn't actually even take as long as that. You can practice, though, for as long as you wish on a demo account without any risk whatsoever. And you'll also need at least 1 hour per week. That should be a surprise to most people, but that's all the time that you will require to actually trade. In the live trading experiment, which is still running now on the Forex Trader magazine blog, it actually averages out at 4 or 5 minutes per week, so not even an hour. So we don't end up sat looking at a screen for hours on end, trading and watching graphs. You'll also need an open mind, and that's going to be important because I've also got a list of things that you don't need too. So you won't need to take a big risk. I'm not saying put your shirt on this. I'm saying if you can afford to use £800 to £1,000 or dollars, then that should be enough to get you going. If you can't afford to take a risk like that, then you probably shouldn't be doing this anyway. But save up for it, get to the position where you can, and come back. I'll be here. I'm not going to ask you to learn anything difficult. All of the techniques and strategies that I teach are absolutely simple. Child's play, in fact. But you'll see that for yourself as we go forward. I'm not going to ask you to invest too much time. Because this is an online course and because you've got 24/7 access wherever you are in the world, then you can do it at your own pace and in your own time. If you want to sit for a 10-hour stretch and learn how to do Forex trading, that's fine. If you want to take half an hour or an hour a day over a week or two, that's fine too. You can take it at whatever speed you wish. I don't want you to give me your capital. I want you to have your capital, and I want you to learn how to trade it safely and profitably. But I don't want you to do this alone. It's extremely important that you don't just start trading. Too many people have done that and they'll lose their money. It's essential that you understand the techniques and also the controls of the trading platform. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is to prove to you that you can make money trading currency. Trading currency is also called forex trading or sometimes FX trading. And to do this, we need to explode some of the very common myths about this type of trading. I would also like to persuade you that we are the best people to provide the training that you need to get started, or to get you back on track if you've traded previously, having either not been trained or having been trained by someone else. So please take a couple of minutes to look at the material. If you like what you see, then click through to receive more information. And that will allow you to make a cool, level-headed decision about your life and how it's going to run from here on in. Great to talk to you. Thanks very much. I'm Jeff Fitzpatrick.